Okay, so I see not many people are using it. So yeah, I think we can get started. So yeah, hi everyone and welcome to the third session of our 10 session series that we are doing in UiPath Mumbai and Pune community chapter. And in the previous two sessions, the first one was about communication mining and our yesterday's session was on document understanding and action center and AI center. So we did explore many practical things in that as well and what are the new updates that are coming. Now our third session is going to be on UiPath Insights. In this, we are going to see how if in an organization you are running multiple bots and there are probably 100 processes that you are running, maybe daily, monthly, quarterly, whatever it is, right? So how you can gather all that information and how the information from orchestrator can help you take more better decisions about the data that is being generated through the automation runs that are happening. So we are going to see that about UiPath Insights, and our speaker for today is Shubham Varshne, and he's going to talk about UiPath Insights. So please feel free to ask as many questions as you want. You can raise your hands. You can put the questions in the chat. We are fine with anything. So let's get started. And Shubham, you are sharing your screen. Can you just switch the presenter mode because we can see the slideshow over here. So
Okay,
maybe
just
we
one
can, yeah.
second. Let me do that. Yeah, is it better now?
Yes, it is perfect and over to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Parth. Hey, hi, everyone. Welcome to UiPath Insights. So as if, Rohit and Parth actually asked earlier, has anyone actually used UiPath Insights or has any informations about it or has actually explored it or anything? If yes, I would like to have some hands up or something like that. Something as an info, basically just to understand how many people are actually active, just to see
Or
that.
just raise hand
Yeah,
or you can post on comment also. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
yeah.
we have in chat that Parvati, she has mentioned she has some information about it, and I don't see any hands being raised. So I think everyone is new to this sugar.
Okay, that's great. Means I'll be very much cautious about not passing anything wrong. But yeah, I'll be starting out. Okay, so let's get started on this. So the agendas that we'll be covering up today would be overview of UiPath Insights and Insights portal and default dashboards. So basically, what I'll be doing is I'll be also trying to share a few live dashboards with you in the end of these all demonstration, and I'll also identify and help you out in understanding how insights is actually helpful for your automations and everything. Okay, I'm just putting my camera on mute. Okay, so let's get started further. So what is actually means why is actually UiPath Insights used? Now that's something that everyone actually questions about and try to understand of these questions. So basically what we do is we actually use UiPath Insights. It's just to measure your RP deployment. That's how we use this. This is the business insights that we actually do. We try to optimize our RPA processes. And the third process is, and the third point is basically scale your RPA implementation. Now, what does measure your RPA deployment means? So insights actually, what it helps you to do is it actually helps you to track and measure the RPA or robot utilization to identify how perfect the automation is actually working, how accurate that process is, and how your process is actually executing. So on a queue level, if we talk about each queue item, how much it's taking exactly in the bot level, what is your utilization level, and how much time your bot is running. So as an example, let's assume you have one license available in your organization and you have 4 automations running. Now, what will UiPath Insight help you in this whole thing is it will actually give you a utilization tab or a graph to help you understand during what time your automations are actually inactive. And you can actually generate that graph over a period of 30 days, 1 month, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and it can also expand as a default time frame as well. Now, the second thing that we talk about is optimization of your RPA processes. Now, basically what this particular understanding is that it helps the business to identify, track, and analyze how your process automation is actually working. So let's assume there are basically most of the clients or the business user are actually questioning up your automation is not working properly and stuff like that. So by UiPath Insights, they can actually view what your automation actually has a success rate of, how many failures are happening, and what is the reasons why those things are failing out. Is it a business exception or is it an application exceptions? Everything can be drilled down in this whole process, in this particular dashboard. So we can actually also share this particular insight link with the stakeholders so that they don't need to actually come back to the business user or maybe the developer or maybe the project manager just to understand what is my process means status of the whole process. So instead of a business analyst using your queue identifying and creating a dashboard for them, you can actually directly use UiPath Insights to actually allow them to view this whole thing. The third thing is scale your RP implementation. Now, in this, basically what we do is we align our automation strategies, investment with business expectations. Now, this is basically, now, as I was talking about that, we have a single robot and we are having 3 or 4 automations running on. Now, when we see that the automations are actually overlapping among themselves. So let's assume your process A runs from 12 to 4, your second process runs from 4 to 6, something like that. And we see that all your 4 processes actually are occupying the bot for 24 hours. Now, if you want a new automation to be implemented, obviously you cannot implement that in that particular machine. So what we can do is we can actually use UiPath Insight to recommend you to actually, if you want to actually go ahead and buy a new license so that a new machine can be fired up and your automation can actually work smoothly without impacting on any of those automation cycles. Okay, now moving ahead, how do we actually measure and report the business impact of your automation program? So how do we do that? So basically what UiPath Insight does it actually has an orchestrated and robot data available for it in its database. It actually processes all these processes into it, like the business data points such as money saved, ROI, time saved, process outcome, and operation data points such as error, utilization, success rate, and durations inside it. And it can create a transparent RP operation table or an ROI performance reporting on these 2 factors, all these particular factors. So any questions till this point? So it can be utilized by the business user also, and it can be utilized for operate means your RPA operations as well. Yeah, Rohan Desai. You can mute.
Yeah. Hi. So my question is about business data points. Generally, what is the ROI, money saved? These are very difficult to directly tie to automation. So how does it actually capture? Does it someone has to enter it, or it connects to some system and gets data from there?
Yeah. So basically what we do over here, Rohan, is that basically we have a solution architect. When you're actually creating your documentations, at that time, you actually get the information from the business as if you are running one queue item, how much time a single user takes for executing that whole thing. Now on that parameter, how much does the bot takes that time to come? And accordingly, we try to calculate what is FTEC, or basically how much full-time employment is being saved by running that particular automation. And what we do is we also enter what is the per hour pay of that particular employee. So by doing that, what the bot does it, an ROI and performance reporting chart has been created, and it is dynamic, and you can get every day latest updates, and you can also showcase this to the business user that this is, by running this particular automation, this is how much you are actually saving.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Just one related question. This data about how much time employee took and how much time it saved and all that, is it inputted in orchestrator or in this Insight tool itself?
An Insight tool, basically we have an integration between AHub and UiPath Insights. So it can be either of them. And we can also import that data inside the Insights as well. That's a possibility.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Rohan. Yeah, Pranav.
My question is like, when we are talking about accuracy performance, is it only telling you like how many times bot ran, any issues, or it is also checking the processes, like how many times it ran one processes, and based on that, it will give you some output? How is that?
No, so basically the success scenario is actually being calculated on the basis of how many application exception happened, how many of them were business exceptions, how many were success scenarios. So basically, let's assume from the queue perspective. Okay. Now, in the queue perspective, when we're talking about, let's assume we have 100 queue items in our whole process. Now, out of them, 60 were successful, 20 were business exception, 20 were application exceptions. Now, accordingly, on that basis, that's how we actually create the transparent RP operation tab for the user. Now,
Okay.
this particular tab can be utilized by the business user as well, and even the developer also when he's doing hypercare, and even the production support team to identify how stable that process is actually executing right now.
Okay. Got
So
it. Thanks.
it actually helps you to understand the whole scenario of what the process is actually doing and get you a proper understanding of what is the success rate scenario of that whole process.
Okay. Got it.
I'll
So,
take the last question again. Anything else? Any question other than that, Pranav, from your side?
no, Subha.
Okay, thanks a lot. I'll take the last question. Prashant, if you could unmute yourself, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this data, in this dashboard, does it get updated in real time, or it happens in a batch?
Okay. So basically, there are two type of deployments. This is something which I may be discussing further, but okay, as you have already asked this question. So basically, what happens, Prashant, is there are two types of deployment happening. One is your on-prem, and the second one is on cloud. For cloud, there is a delay of 5 minutes, and as far as I'm aware about, and for on-prem, it's 15 minutes of delay for the whole process to get updated. So every 15 minutes, your data sets will be getting updated on-prem, and on every 5 minutes on a cloud environment, it gets updated.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so I'll be moving further on this. Okay.
So
Now,
Shubham,
yeah.
can we change this time frame like 15-minute sync for on-prem infrastructure?
Yeah, so basically, Harshad, what exactly happens is 15 minutes is actually set up as a default by UiPath. But I think we can have a discussion from the UiPath core team or maybe the support team that you are connecting with to get it reduced.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll move ahead on this. Yeah. Thanks, Ratna. Okay. So basically, why UiPath Insights are being used. So basically, what we do is when we are actually reporting, you might be aware about that when we are having an automation live and running, there would be some analytics or some project team members which would be creating these type of analysis for the business users. It may be not very regular for you guys, but it is something which the business is actually requiring to understand how much they have actually saved. So for them, it's like a ad hoc work. And this particular tool, that is UiPath Insights, actually helps them to actually create all these dashboards. It's only one-time investment, and once that's been created, it's directly plug and play. So they can open this tab whenever that's required. You can keep on sharing these reports directly, automated them, means in an automatic way. And you can also make sure that no one is actually spending this time in creating these dashboards every time when the business actually requests. So as per all these things, what we are doing is we focus on results, not the reports part in UiPath. Okay. I'll move ahead on this. RP analytics and reporting from UiPath. So basically, as I've already told you, the dashboard that you have created is dynamic. You can actually create it on the basis of robots level or process level and even on the queue level. These reports that we have created, they are actually being shareable as well. So you can schedule and share the dashboard with them as well. And if you don't want to actually give them access to the UiPath Insights, you can actually share them in a PDF format as well. You can define the KPIs for all the processes so that you can also track on what basis or what parameters, how they were being tracked up and how much time you have actually saved up. And you can also, as I've already told about, the deployment options are available on-prem also and also on automation cloud. Custom alerts in this, the alerts can be created in which you can set up a goal on how many success scenarios you would be getting an alert on or how many failure level you would be getting. So let's assume for every 10 runs, I want if 2 of these items gets in faulted state, an email trigger must be sent out to the business user. Not to the business user, but at least to the developer or the production support team. So what will happen is the production support team will be getting an email from the Insights tab, and then they can actually investigate what is actually going wrong on the system. So the production support team can actually more focus, or basically be focused on the error resolution rather than monitoring all these. Moving ahead, this is a business ROI dashboard. It can easily be quantified with the money and the time saved by your automation. So we can actually, as I've already told, means as per the screenshots that you are seeing on the dashboard level, it's something that an automation, how much it's actually saved. Now you can actually reduce it on the basis of per month, per quarter, and even per year also. And you can also understand and share with them what is the success scenarios and how much it's the failure scenarios in these type of scenarios. And how much after deducting all the bot costing and everything and VMs, you can also get that particular dashboard created in an ROI. So that's how this whole thing is actually very beneficial from the business level. So they can actually understand that what impact your automation is actually making in the system. So usually what happens is you would be aware about in every quarter end, your project manager or maybe your manager actually requests you to create these type of dashboards to understand how many items were being processed and stuff like that. If you are already having UiPath Insights, all those things are only, you don't need to actually do these items yourself. So manager can automatically extract that out. And it's not only the manager, even the business users or the business people can actually directly navigate to this UiPath Insights and get those information directly available for them. And as for the cost that has been done, it's actually customized on the track-led benefit, and it's such as the FTE level and even the time saved for that particular automations as well. Okay. So reporting, in the reporting segment that we do, it's ROI and business impact. The challenge, as we always aware about that, the councils are actually more aware, means the business are more aware about and are more concerned what is the ROI of this process automations, or maybe how much ROI are we actually generating by using the automations. So what we can do is we can standardize this all. We can give them seamless delivery for every quarter, and we can also segregate that out for every year and even per month saving by the automation level as well. So by doing this, what will happen is we'll be creating a customized ROI dashboard, which will be giving you as time saved and the money saved baselines. We'll be entering inside the designer mode. We'll be dragging, dropping it. And then over there, we can measure the ROI level on the basis of business defined KPIs. And from there, we can export the ROI report and then schedule that report, as I've already told you, to the business. So making sure that no human intervention is required and you're actually automating it as you are already in automation sphere yourself. Any questions till this point? I'm actually pausing up, guys. So if you have anything, you can raise your hand in between also. I'll try to use you in. Yeah, Harshit.
Yeah. So for Insight, we required a UiPath orchestrator. Is it mandatory, or we can directly connect to the if we have only attended bots and the database? So can we connect a UiPath Insight with the database directly without having the orchestrator?
That's a good question, and I'm not sure about it. But as far as I'm aware about Harshit, is that your insights access has actually been available from the UiPath orchestrator only.
Mhm.
But what I can do is you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and I can get you a clarification on this.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else that has any questions on this? But Harshit, if I'm not if I'm aware about in the recent scenario of UiPath, they are actually giving orchestrator along with the attended robots as well. Is that incorrect statement?
No, actually, with Flex, it is they are start providing the orchestrator, but
Mhm.
for the previous versions, they haven't. So still, some of the organizations are using the standalone licenses.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I thought that it's been automatically implemented for it. Got it. Okay. Any other questions, guys, till this point? Okay. So I'll move ahead. So RP analytics and reporting from UiPath. Now, I've already shown you most of these items that we can create the custom dashboard, we can create alerts, we can do deployment options, we can also do a forecasting option, and we can also define the KPIs as we have already discussed. So what we can do is we can assume, means UiPath Insight can actually give you an insight of how much saving in future, potential saving you can actually make up by implementing this now. Okay. Moving ahead. Now, this is a robot dashboard. Now, robot level dashboard is something which the production support team, the business users, and even the developers are actually more concerned about. So this is not something which the business end business user means end business is actually aware about or concerned about. But this is something which will help us to identify, to get to the root cause of why that error is actually happening and what is the level of occurrence for that as well. Now, breakdown. So basically what this particular dashboard actually gives us is actually it can give you how much durations, as in seconds, this bot is actually running in, or the bot has actually run for in a week, or maybe in the last 30 days, something like that. And it can give you an average runtime for every day as well. And how many items were being processed, how many unattended licenses are being running on, how many runtimes are actually being running in, everything this can be done. And the best thing in this whole dashboard is if you click on any of those numbers. So let's assume I'm clicking on unattended in that particular dashboard. What will happen is I'll be only getting, means there would be an automatic filter which would be applied for the whole dashboard. And it will give you all the stats of only the unattended bots. But if I click the attended bot over here, what will happen is all these dashboards will be automatically updated to attended bot. Now, please be cautious about this. If I'm clicking on attended over here, if this is a count of unattended over here, just one second, this will not get appended automatically. Okay, because this only gives you an means a count of attended bots or unattended bots over here, and this is a different sphere for that attended bot. So if you click on attended, all these dashboards all these stats will be updated only for attended. All the above ones, if they are not linked with the unattended and attended runtimes, they will not get affected. I hope that's clear with you. And as you can see in the bottom, there is a runtime schedule of these whole things. So by utilizing this, and this whole segments of this whole dashboard is actually for a week time. So what will happen is it will only show you for the whole week. Now, if I increase, all I need to do is just click on this tab and an expanded volume would be available for me, which will give me an understanding of I can increase this whole scope to a larger level. So, okay. Any questions on the robot dashboards? Okay, I'll be moving ahead. So as I've already told you that we have a shareable reports and custom alerts available for us. So what we have over here is we actually have the reports that are being created. We can create a report that can be sent to the business by mentioning the email IDs that we need to send out, and we can also put the durations and how many occurrences and at what time these items will be sent out to the business. If we want to mark it as a goal alert, we can say that if the total saving costs more than 2,000, we can automatically send that report again to the business so that they would be aware about that this is the goal that which was being defined initially has been achieved by the board, so that they can also go back to their business or the business user and then mention that means something as a kudos to the business team or maybe an automation allowing this all to be done. Okay. So I hope this is all okay with you guys. Anything or any questions on these points till now? Okay. I'll show you a small demonstration on this. So just give me a minute. I am resharing my screen up. If anyone has any questions till now, I'm happy to answer any of them. Yep. Is the screen visible to everyone? Parth?
No, I can see a black screen.
No, I can't see. So
Just 1 second, guys. Let me reshare it. Okay, I shared the whole screen. So I'm assuming this would be.
Yes.
Now? Perfect.
yes,
Okay.
visible.
So this is a UiPath cloud, as everyone is aware about. This is the orchestrator. This is the main page of the whole orchestrator page. So what we do is we are having the orchestrator. We have all these options available on the left-hand side. So all we need to do is just click on the 9 dots on the top, and then simply navigate to the insights. Now, once we navigate to this page, so I didn't actually have that access. So Parth was very kind enough to actually grant the access to me. So I got these access. Now, as we can all see that we have UiPath template, predefined templates already been defined. I don't have the access to the business ROIs and business ROI queues, but I have the access to all these other items. Now on the queue level, this is a dummy website, guys. So you won't be able to see all the values coming in, but I'll be trying to show you as what all the parameters and how can we edit it out. Okay. So as I was talking about, we have a filtration of the days. We can get it for today also. We can do a custom dashboard of this custom dates on these all things. And we can also have a predefined items available over here as well for filtering or slicing these data out, in which we can get last 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, 90 days, and we have a lot of more options as well. So we have for this quarter also, this month also, and this year as well. And we can also get the data for the older years as well. So you can actually get that validated and then also start creating these dashboards on your side. And what will happen is you can also target which particular folder you want to target this up. So let's assume I have 4 or 6 modern folders that are being created, modern folders or maybe the old classic ones as well. Those one will be available for me over here. Now, as soon as I click that, what will happen is it will be showing me on the queue level. Let's assume I have 10 queues. All the 10 queues will be coming up over here, and the transition level, how many successes were there and failures were there and stuff like that, everything would be available over here. So this is a predefined table over here. And in the exception tab, we'll be getting the business exception, system exception, and everything. Now, let's assume I want to update the exception. I just want to have the business application or maybe the system application over here. So what I do is, just one second, I need to go back to the system backend. I need to come over here. I need to copy this out to my dashboard. Basically, any predefined templates are not being created. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating a dummy dashboard for myself, which I'll be picking up. And over here, I would be the admin for updating this dashboard over. Now, as soon as I do that, I can do over here. And as you can see that earlier, I was not able to get edit dashboard on the 3 dots, but now I'm able to do that. So as soon as I click on this, I can edit any of these views. I can duplicate it. I can create any of that, everything that can be done. So I'm assuming the first tab, I'm keeping it as application exceptions. So I'm clicking on edit. Now over here, as you can see, the filters are on top. We are actually keeping application exception and business exception. What I do is I remove the application exceptions and I rename this as. Once I do that, I can run this job, I can save it out, and it will be reflecting on my dashboard. So this is how easy it is. So as per your requirements, you can actually edit it, and you can also make it suggestions or changes to your automations or maybe to your dashboard, making sure that it's easy for your use, and you can also plug and play with these items. So as you have seen, oh, I just missed updating this, so I'll just update it over here as well. Now, this particular tab would be giving me application exception, and this will be giving me business exceptions. And this is how all these data are being stored up. Any questions on this tab, on the queue level? Okay, I see none. It's a good thing for me.
One second, Shivam.
Yeah. Is there any chance?
So Parvati had asked a question. I think it was a few minutes back. Is it possible to customize the dashboards? That is the question.
Yes, we can customize it. So I was actually showing you this customization only, that I was applicating this for application exceptions, and I was segregating this out. I can plug and play. I can edit it out on my responsive. So I was seeing queue level over here. So I can drag and drop any level. So you can see I have the customization possible on my end.
Correct. Okay. Next question is from Ashok Karale. He's asking, can we try Insights in Pro trial or community?
This is something you need to reach out to the UiPath sales team.
Yes, I think there has been an update where you can enable in community. So I'll just try to share that link over here. We'll do that.
Yep.
And we have one final, that's not a question. Ajay, can you just try to rejoin, because we can see the screen. Ajay is saying that screen is not visible, but then I think it is visible for all of us. So just try to join in.
Okay.
Shubham, you can go ahead.
So, Shubham, doubt. So for the queues or the processes, if anything, if any exceptions or any or breakdown happens to the process, we have to send an email to the business people, right? So where that be done, like we have to send the emails.
Okay. Now you're talking about the setting of that. Okay, just give me. So I'm just discarding this out. Now what I do is, once this dashboard is up and running, right? there is an option of scheduled delivery. Okay, this delivery is actually on the occurrences of, just one second. This is delivering only. Yeah. There is an option of alerts also, which is available over here, which will help us to actually send that alerts up. Just one second. I've never used alerts because my client didn't actually require it out. Just one second. So Parvati, I can get back to you on this. I actually earlier it was available over here in the scheduled delivery. Over there, you had an option of creating an alerts. As this is a means, we don't have a proper database over here. I'm assuming that's why the alert mechanisms are not available. But in the pro version, as far as I'm aware about, we have the alert mechanisms up
Yeah, no worries.
there. Okay, got it. I'll just move back. Okay, so this was on queue level. I'll now open on the basis of process level and also the function. So I'm just showing you the predefined ones. So this is on the process level. So on the process level, we can see the same things available. Over here, we have the folder names. Over here, we also have a filter of process name as well. So which is very required. As in job info, we get everything as how many processes has ran, what is the success rate, total suspended state, and stuff like that. So these are the basic ones. Now, what are the top 10 processes that are run? So let's assume you have one process that runs every 10 minutes or something. So over the year, you will be seeing those process names. So it will be giving you an understanding that this runs very fluently and frequently. So this is how it's actually. This whole process, as you can see, top 10 running 10 processes which are in faulted states, the ones which are the most problematic ones on all your automation spares. This is where we can get it. Weekly runs, what are the ones that runs on weeks, which is the ones that, what are the error details that you've got across all the processes, and what are the processes that got faulted out with the exception error messages as well. Again, as I told you, we have the filtration available over here. All you need to do is just simply edit it out and you can get that filtration over here. Okay. This was on process level. I'll go back to the previous one now. And this is queue, this, and process component machine. Okay. So this particular process, this particular dashboard actually gives you collaborations of robots and machine integration. It gives you what is the utilization time, how much time the process is actually running in, how many jobs per hour is happening. This is showing as hours. We can convert it to seconds as well. Utilization per day and utilization for this as unattended and attended segregations. What are the robot machines that are available? What are the error messages that we're getting on the machines level? 10 busiest machines that were available. So basically not making sure that they are not being targeted for new automations, and today's utilization breakdown. So today, how much processes were being executed and what is the major utilization that were being executed today. So this is how a robots and machine dashboard is being created. So I'm just showing you as a brief example of this whole thing. You can optimize, you can utilize, you can update these dashboards as per your requirement, as per your client requirements, something that every company has something different parameters to be showing in. That whole thing can be segregated. So basically the dashboard are actually on the org level, not on the tenant level. But we can create it on the tenant level by segregating it out on the filtrations directly. But you need to hard code those filters on your side initially and then typecasting it on your tenant level. So basically, Rohan, what we do in these type of scenarios is, because the user, the end user or the business user, he can plug and play with all your things. But if you want to restrict it on the tenant level only, and you don't want to give him access across all the tenants, what you can actually do is you can actually schedule those reports for them. By doing that, what will happen is you won't be actually means allowing them to actually access other tenant data as well in these type of things. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So right now, just give me a few minutes further. Just 1 second. I'm just checking if anything is left out. Okay. Now, let me show you one of the live dashboards. Parth, I would request you to stop recording as of now.
Give me a second. Right.
Shubham, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
So while we are talking about this, productivity of the robots, utilization, and all that stuff, when it comes to business ROI, right? So how do we actually input the pre-existing cost or FTEs or details around that to the
That's right. Now, basically, what happens is I don't have the solution architect role for this particular process, so I was
Okay.
not able to actually show you that particular ROI tab on my side. Okay. So what
Okay.
happens is when we're opening that tab, there is an edit option which allows us to mention what are the ROI cost. So one process, let's assume it will be on process level, Hamza, basically. So what we do is every process level, this queue has been tied up, and what is this means if one item gets processed out for a human to complete that task, how much time does it take for one queue item? That is what is calculated. And what is your per hour billing rate, which helps by doing or entering all these data available
Okay.
to you. What happens is this particular dashboard gets populated and it gives you a live execution state on the basis of the queue that have been processed, what is the runtime of that process, and ideally you will be getting that particular ROI execution state for yourself.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Any other questions, guys?
I think we have one in chat.
Okay.
Can you check that?
Yeah, I saw a post on LinkedIn recently that mentioned a cut down version of Insights that didn't cost additional. Do you know if that is correct? So I think, I'm not sure about this, Craig, but I think you can reach out to the sales team of UiPath team and then request for that. But a cut down version, I'm assuming it's a trial version that the UiPath team actually provides you for 90 days, and that can be realized. That's true. But I'm not sure whether there's different version for UiPath Insights available or not.
Shubham, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear.
All right. So one question on Insights. So as you mentioned that there's a time gap of 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So basis on that, is it following the OLAP? Like somewhere is it building the OLAP reports or OLAP database, and then we are just pulling up all the insights from there?
So basically what happens is all these data means now what are we talking about? Are we talking about the on-prem or are we talking about the cloud orchestrator?
Cloud.
That's where we have a segregation around. As far as I am aware about, Aditya. Now let's assume we are talking about the on-prem one. Okay. Now what happens is in every 15 minutes, a refresh query would be executing in the backend. And from there, you can actually be getting all those information available.
So it compiles all the historical data. And then
that's right. No. So basically, only the last 15 minutes data will be coming in, and it appends with the older data sets. That's how it does.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's the OLAP concept, right?
Yeah.
And even in the cloud, because it's tightly tied up, and that database is already in the UiPath cloud, because the UiPath has a database access or everything for their data. So that's why over there the refresh rate is actually a bit faster, and that's why the 5 minutes and 15 minutes gap is there. Because what they do is in every 5 minutes interval, they keep on refreshing that database when we're talking about the cloud or the cloud insights on this. Okay. Thanks, Rod. Any further question, guys?
I think overall it was pretty good session. There were a lot of interactions from audience as well. So
yep.
I think we had a good.
Okay. Okay. Thanks everyone, and thanks a lot, Rohan. And I think Parth, if you have the LinkedIn IDs for both of us, if you could post it over here in the group chat so that everyone, if they have any queries on insights, they can actually share it out. Thanks, Yash. Thanks, Rohan. Thanks, everyone, basically.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for attending the session, and do register for the upcoming events that we have. We are every day having sessions on different topics. Tomorrow we have on Automation Hub. So do try to RSVP for the event and attend that. So yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you everyone for joining in this session. Thank you, Shubham.
Thank you, Shubham.
Thanks, Parth. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Take care.